Last week, a client called and said something I hear all the time. I know what I've saved, but how do I compare to other people my age? It's human nature to want to know where you stand. Hi, I'm Jim Martin, a financial planner and the founder of Martin Wealth Solutions. If you're watching this video, you are likely curious as well. Thankfully, we've got two solid resources that give us a peek behind the curtain. Vanguard's annual How America Saves report and the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, which is released every 3 years. Let's break down what people actually have saved and, more importantly, what you can do to improve your retirement picture, no matter where you are today. So make sure you listen to the end where we break down ways you can improve your retirement picture. Now, before we dig into the data, let's talk about definitions. Let's talk about average. What does an average mean? Well, it's the total savings divided by the number of people. Now, it can be skewed by a few big balances or small balances. In median, this is the number I like, means that half have more and half have less. It gives us a picture of where people land. Now, Vanguard reports their balances. For 2023, these numbers only include 401ks managed by Vanguard, age 35 through 44. The average balance was $91,281. The median balance was $35,537. Age 45, the median balance was $60,763. And age 55 plus, the median was $88,169. But let's be real here. People do have other retirement savings, whether that's IRAs, savings accounts, brokerages, maybe even pensions. And this is where the Federal Reserve data is way more helpful. Now, the Federal Reserve reports total household retirement savings. This paints the picture a little bit fuller of what households have saved across all accounts types. Age 35 to 44, the average balance was $141,522, and the median balance was $45,000. Age 45 to 54, the average balance was $313,220. The median was $115,000. And age 65 to 74, the average was $609,230, and the median was $200,000. Age 75 plus, the average was $462,410. Now, you'll notice these numbers peak right around the traditional retirement age, which makes a lot of sense. Most people hit their highest savings right before they begin drawing income. So are you behind? Well, here's the thing. These numbers are helpful, but they don't tell the whole story. You might have equity in your house. You might have rental income or Social Security or pension benefits. Other resources that are not included in these savings numbers. In fact, many of our clients realize that they have 30 or even 40% more saved than they thought once we add it all up. And let's not forget, the retirement's not a race. The media often shows the rare retiree who made it at 45. But for most of us, most Americans retire somewhere between 62 and 70. It's a gradual transition, not a sudden rush to the finish line. Helpful or harmful? What about rules of thumb? Well, there's two popular rules we hear a lot about. The 80% rule. You're going to need 80% of your current income in retirement. I don't love this one. It rarely holds up. Travel, healthcare, hobbies, home projects, they often lead to spending levels that are much higher early in retirement. What about the 25X rule? Multiply your savings income gap by 25 to find your magic number. That's really just a rehash of the 4% rule, which assumes you're going to withdraw 4% of your portfolio annually. I think that's a bit too rigid. Retirement savings or spending isn't linear. You can withdraw more early, maybe less later. There's lots of approaches. Let's talk about a better approach as we're talking about your retirement readiness. Let's start here. Here's what we recommend. Step one, get a financial inventory. List all of your accounts, all of your assets, your debits, your old accounts, your home equity. Track your spending for 90 days. Don't estimate. So many people underestimate here. Build a realistic retirement budget. That's step two. Think it through what retirement looks like for you. Where are you going to live? What does travel look like? How about healthcare and lifestyle? Understand the retirement spending smile. You're going to spend more in the early years. spend less in the middle and maybe more at the end when healthcare comes in. Step number 3, identify your income gap. What will you spend versus what's covered by Social Security, pensions, and income? And that's the gap you need to cover as you're beginning to think about your retirement planning. Look, it's easy to feel you're behind when you're comparing yourself to the averages or other people, but your personal situation, your goals, your timeline, they're unique. At Martin Wealth Solutions, we help clients build plans around their real lives, not generic benchmarks. So if you're ready to go beyond the numbers and start crafting a plan, you can connect with us at martinwealth.com. Hey, if you liked the video, do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe, and leave any comments in the feed. We want to thank you for listening. We'll be back next week.